Hey folks, welcome back, and in this video I'm going to talk about everything about venture scouting. So for the past 3-4 years I've been looking to basically scout startups. I've been very closely related to a lot of startups, and I wanted to do something that is very passive, which is like a part-time thing at the same time making money. So in venture scouting it's more about firstly let me explain what venture scouting is. Let me also explain the models of venture scouting, and I'll also explain more about how you can make money out of venture scouting without doing full-time job. So the very first thing is, what is venture scouting, right? There are a lot of institutions that invests in startups, invests in different kinds of assets. So a venture scout is someone who provides the access to different resources for the people who are looking for it. Let me take an example, right? Let's say there is a venture capital firm in San Francisco, right? And they invest across the globe. So now this VC firm can't basically set up shop and have a lot of offices across the globe, right? Rather, what they can try doing is they can hire a venture scout in every country or every city or every state. It's very similar to how campus ambassadors are set up when you want to source and network a group of institutes for your event. It's very similar when a VC firm wants to set up a huge network of venture scouts who would scout deals for them, who would look into their specific regions wherever they have their strong network and look for those deals where actually these VCs can consider investing, right? So my first experience of venture scouting is at BridgeUp. BridgeUp is basically a platform where profitable, revenue making startups can basically raise revenue based financing. Revenue based financing is really simple. Say you have a startup, you know that you have 10 customers and you know that these 10 customers are gonna pay you 1 lakh in the next 1 year, right? You know that you're gonna get 10 lakhs in the next 1 year, but you really don't you can't wait for a year and take that money every month and just grow, right? You need capital upfront so that you can grow today. So that's where revenue based financing comes, where you can pledge these contracts as a collateral and then get this upfront capital and use it, and you basically pay it back every single month, right? Even if you didn't understand the concept of BridgeUp, it's totally fine. You can just forget about it. And I started working at BridgeUp as a scout, and I made my very first successful introduction to them. And it has been a week. I've been trying to scout multiple startups and talking to them and things like that. A scout is a very interesting sort of a job where you talk to people, you try to understand what they want, and you see if the company that you're talking to fits the criteria for what your VC firm or the platform or the organization that is looking to fund these startups is the expectations matching, is what you as a venture scout do. And then you pass this on to the VC firm or wherever you are scouting. When you pass it on, you write a small thesis note. A thesis note, I'll just put it on the screen. A thesis note is really simple. You just mention those things, that why do you think this startup should be considered by the VC firm or the platform or wherever you are scouting. So it's more like an executive summary of why the VC firm should go ahead about even considering, firstly talk to the founders and consider investing in them. So this is the thesis. So writing a thesis is pretty, everyone has their own style of writing their thesis. You can include different sort of things, links, you can add different metrics, data, anything that you have access to, right? Getting back to venture scouting. So there's this super awesome website where you can look at all these scouting programs that you have. So I'll leave the link to this website below in the description. So when you go to programs on this site, you see all the VC firms, 100 plus VC scout programs here. They're you will see, is it invite only, what kind of fund is it, what location is it, and stuff like that. So most of these VC, when you want to become a venture scout, you don't have a set path. Like there is no standardization. There is no like a job interview or a job application where you can just go and apply. It's mostly like you reach out through a cold email, you reach out to the one of the venture partner there and just try to help them understand why exactly you want to scout for them, and is there something that you can reciprocate and you can provide something that they might be looking but might not be able to get. Right? You might say something like, I'm in college, I know that you have funded a lot of student entrepreneurs. So I'm in a college where you have like 20-30 startups coming up every single year, and I might be able to basically pass on these early stage student startups to you, and you might basically start considering them and things like that. All I'm trying to tell is like you need to put forward your value proposition, stating exactly what you can bring it to them that they are not already being able to do, right? And they are wanting to do it. Every sort of these people have their own venture scout program. All you need to do is like, say if we look at shell.vc, you will just click on it. You see all the details, what are the mechanics, how much do they invest, what does it matter, and you have this thing where you get a link to the program and you just go there and you can check out all the details regarding that specific things. And the next one is more about when you scout, it's very important to maintain a pipeline, and you also need to record what exactly is the state of conversation with each of these startups. And you need to maintain a state, you need to have some confidence indicator, how confident are you that this will convert, and any notes that you want, point of contact, role, category. It's basically something that you will have as your reference. You will add the dates so that every week you just go through that over the weekend and just see which of these you can convert. Do you need to reach out to any of these people and have a second conversation, third conversation, things like that. So maintaining this is really important. This is known as a scouting pipeline, right? So coming to the next one, we have looked at what venture scouting is, how to write a thesis, where to find these programs, how to even create a pipeline, right? But before all that, you folks might be thinking, yaar, you have told us everything, but I still don't understand. I understand to an extent what venture scouting is by your video, but I don't still understand how to learn this venture scouting and try to build that mindset and understanding of what exactly we need to do, how to speak to these founders, how to build a network and things like that. So I have a bunch of courses, books, playlists, videos and stuff like that which you can try considering and going through. I'll leave all the links in the description below. The first one is learn how to angel invest, right? So this is a course where you have a bunch of very good investors who are brought into this course, and they teach about how exactly did they start investing and what do they look well investing and things like that. This is a super interesting course. It's a very short course. You should be able to do this in a day's time, and this will help you understand a lot of different core fundamentals and the principles of investing. So even if you are a venture scout, understanding what it takes for the investors to even consider and take the startup seriously and basically consider making an investment, it's very important to learn that mindset, and these courses will help you do that, right? The second video is more on the private equity and venture capital. It's on Coursera. You can audit this course for free or apply for a financial aid. You can just enroll and do this as an audit course. Learn a lot of things of basics of investing, private equity, venture capital. How do they calculate it? How are venture capital funds raised? The dynamics, the mechanics of a fund, how are companies valued, how are deal making and stuff like that. Pretty basic about venture capital and private equity, not much related to the early stage startup scouting, but still you will get a gist of what exactly the industry is all about and the depth of the industry, right? Coming next, I have two book recommendations which I read when I was first starting. The first one is Masters of Private Equity and Venture Capital. This is quite an interesting book. Of course, it's too costly for the hardcover and the Kindle edition. Of course, you can try taking it on Audible, it has an audiobook, so you can try listening to it. It is a 20-hour long audiobook, so it's quite interesting. The makers, the VCs themselves, who have discussed their case studies, their processes, their understanding of what it took them to reach to a fund size of billions of dollars. So this is a very interesting sort of a book that you can consider starting out with. It's very simple language, and you will really understand a lot of things in the venture investing space. The second book is of venture deals. This is more of like understanding term sheets, understanding the terms, understanding a lot of different things that will help you understand those nitty-gritties of the term sheets, the safe notes, and basic terms that a lot of founders and the interactions between the founders and investors which will be having, they will have a lot of jargons and stuff like that. This book will help you clear out all those jargons for you, right? The next two ones are gonna be playlists. The first one is Know Your Term Sheet, which is a playlist by Kushal Bhagia. He explains all those terms in the playlist. Why I'm showing so many terms and jargons and like things is like, you need to first get a level playing field. You might be someone who might not, who might know about startups, but you still don't know all these internal details of venture investing. Tomorrow, if you're getting on a call with a founder and he asks what is the general valuation, if they tell ki we are looking for a valuation of $5 million with a dilution of X percentage, you need to be able to communicate it with the partners at the VC firm. At the same time, when they tell you something, you should be able to communicate to the founder. So all these jargons and stuff like that will help you do that much better and become a better communicator in the venture capital space, right? So the next playlist is by actually Sanjay Mehta, who is the founder and who runs the 100x VC, and it's a course on venture investing. It's also very short, quick videos, like 4 minutes, and this would help you get a lot of basics right. And yeah, I think these are the whole path in which you can start learning about the basics of venture capital. I'll leave all the links in the description below. And if you have watched till this time, I really thank you for going through all of this and learning about venture scouting. And if you do have any questions, drop it in the comment section. And if you also want me to make videos on something specific, do let me know in the comments. I'll try my best to also cover those videos, right? So with that, this is Balaji Rao signing off, and I will see you in the next one.